Welcome back to part 3 of the connection between the Masons and Babylonia. In part 2, we left off talking about this guy, the god Enlil, and how he is literally the exact same definition of all the other gods who started creation, like Osiris and the Christian god. We also talked about how the Sumerian kings legitimized their rule through the ownership of this location, because it was considered the seat, the house of the god of everything. The religion was so deep in this culture that it continued for centuries. Even the Akkadian kings worshipped Enlil. They built monuments to him, as did the era after them and the era after them. In fact, Nippur didn't actually start devolving until a change in conditions of weather changed the course of the Euphrates River, which affected the river Kibar, taking away the fact that it was a giant port for ships to come through. Temple Hill was where a majority of all of the cuneiform tablets were found. On the eastern mound was Temple Hill, aka Tablet Hill, and that is where a majority of all of the cuneiform tablets were found. There was a temple for Enlil that was found that dated back to approximately 2100 BC, and that was primarily used to prepare offerings that would have been given to the god in the main temple. There was also the North Temple, which existed at the northernmost tip of the eastern mound. This temple was used for centuries as well, from around 2900 BC to the Akkadians in about 2300 BC. After the Akkadian period, this building was no longer used. In the Inyana temple, they found levels that dated way back. We're talking 4th millennium BC. As of the date of this discovery, it was the longest continually used religious site in history, specifically Mesopotamian history. In the 1970s, they started really concentrating on the West Mound. There they found a Neo-Babylonian temple that had a bunch of dog figurines in it. There were also other figurines found like this one, that this was the temple of Gula, the healing goddess, who was commonly depicted of having dogs with her. She was known to be the goddess of medicine and healing, and a divine physician and midwife. She was the second highest ranking goddess next to Beltis, aka Ishtar, and she's always associated with dogs. While they were excavating the West Mound, they also found levels that had Babylonian private houses. Excavators found evidence of old Babylonian private houses that had cuneiform texts that were depicting banking activities and economic transactions. Want more? Come back for part 4.